Welcome to Punky's world. I'm Punky. Today I have a Samsung TV that's doing this shit. Let's see if I can fix it. Alright, I've never personally taken one of these particular TVs apart, but we're gonna start with the stand. There's 4 screws that are labeled S. So you're gonna notice there's these little tabs right here. There's one here, and there's one on the opposite side over here. We're gonna need to pop this up a little bit. Those are all good sounds, believe it or not. There it is. Now this is where the fun starts. This is our power board here. We're gonna have to do some testing on it. I don't see anything burned on this board at all so far. That's good. We're gonna need to run some tests. Chicken diodes. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. How about this one? Good. Good diode. Good diode. Good diode. Good. Good. Okay. Check these caps here. Since I can access them. Good cap. Good cap. So of course it was off camera when I did it. This thing kept flashing and doing its flash, and it wouldn't stop doing it no matter what you did. And so I'm like curious. I tested the capacitors on here on the board. I checked the diodes. Everything seemed to be good. So I decided to unplug, which is this right here, the LED strip for the TV. And lo and behold, the TV actually showed a red light on the power button, which means that it's off. I pressed the power button and it turned on. I took my remote. I hit the home button, which I'll show you, and so we have a working TV. I also took a flashlight, and this is a thing you can do on your TV as well. For some reason, if your backlight goes out on your TV, you can take a flashlight, shine it into the TV, like putting it literally on the TV, and you can still see some glowing or some information like the source menu, or if you have Netflix, whatever, you can see the different icons on there. For this video, I've never done a LED strip replacement in a TV before, so this is going to be quite a challenge. I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about doing it, but I'm going to give it a college dropout try, see if we can't revive this TV, because this is a nice TV. I mean, it's 55 inches, it's a Samsung, it's a smart TV, it's a 4K TV. The fact that I picked this up for, what I paid $5 for this TV. If I put a $20 LED kit inside of here and fix it and sell it for 150 bucks, which this one I think is going for just under Shut up. I think this one is going for just under $300. Let's just say I sell it for 150 bucks. I mean, I'm still making a profit on this either way. So this will be a fun video. I'm sure there'll be some mistakes. I'm sure there'll be some fuck ups. So we're just gonna take it in and we're gonna do it. This will be interesting. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed. Actually, a lot of time has passed. It's been probably a good 3 weeks, maybe. I finally got the parts probably a week beforehand. And these are the replacement or used LED strips is what I picked up. This is a pair of LED strips that came from one of these original television sets. Apparently it's been tested, it works. But I did notice on one spot of this LED strip right here, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like it's got some little chip to it or something. If this one doesn't work, I'm guessing that it has something to do with it, but I'm gonna cross my fingers. So first thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove these wires in the back of the TV right here. So this pulls straight out like this. Okay. Pull this one out. It's also a really short one right here on the corners. This is one, taking that one out. All right, very good. Now we need to take off these brackets right here. I'm gonna disconnect the speakers here. It's just a tab that pushes down. There it is, so that's out. And this cable too as well. A piece of tape here. Give you some room so you can work. That one's out. This is the IR sensor is what we're disconnecting, because this is all gonna pop out. Okay. All right, we're gonna put this over here. We'll just disconnect this power button right now, just because and just get it out of the way. All right, next I believe is gonna be these bad boys right here. And these are all taped in as well, so you might have to pry up a little bit on the tape to give you some love. On these little bracket deals, this pops up and that comes out like that. Same with this one. It just pops up. And then this ribbon is free. Next, there's these buffer board covers right here. And so what I found is if I just get a screwdriver and I put it kind of behind it, pry just a little bit, I can get it off. Okay, that one. Just kind of like a tab that's holding it in. Let me see if I can show you better. Try not to bust it. There we go. Okay, so that's how that comes off, just like that. And there's little bits of tape that's kind of holding this on, but we're gonna need to flip this over on the other side. So let's do this carefully. There's just a little bit of tape there. Two separate strips. I'm just gonna cut it here. Just one little spot right here. Let's cut it carefully. There we go. Okay, that one's out like that. Be careful. It's out. Same with this son of a bitch right here. Yeah, maybe we'll start from this end. A little more flexible, I feel. And we didn't even cut this yet, so we'll just do a little boop boop like that. Up. Okay, there it is. Okay. All right, so now here comes the real fun part. We gotta disconnect the bezel from the TV, and they're just little tabs. You're just gonna go around and unclip it as carefully as you can. I believe, yes, there's little tabs right here, so you can just use your flathead screwdriver and it will literally start taking the bezel off of the front of the TV, ultimately. You'll see what I mean. At this point, I might actually be able to flip the TV over to continue taking the bezel off. Let's see how that works out for me. All right. And I just cracked the bezel. Shit. Well, it is my first time. But I can fix that. I can put a little dab of glue right there. It'll be perfectly fine. All right, let's safely put this aside. All right, the next part we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some tape, and this is actually motion picture tape. I have a shit ton of this when I used to work in the industry. It's called photo paper tape. Usually really expensive a roll, but on movie sets, it's expendable. You just end up with a shit ton of it. Now, we're gonna take those buffer boards that we saw, which are actually on this side of the screen right here. Put a piece of tape to protect it. We're gonna lift off the screen here, and so we wanna tape these just to make sure that they don't fly back or whatever, because we're gonna use our suction cups to lift up on the screen now. I put a little blanket over this table here, so that way I can set the screen on there very gently, because I don't want anything to happen to it, because if you break that,
game over, man.
Game over. It's not worth trying to put a new LCD in this thing. It's just the cost. It's more than the TV. It's ridiculous. You junk the TV. My suction cups right here. We're gonna put it in there. Just like that. I have the TV screen in my hands. We're gonna set it down over here. Now this can be a little nerve-wracking too, but right here, you need to get this frame apart right here, and they're just held in by little tabs, and they're snug right there. So you gotta kind of slide it like that. Ooh, I already see some dead LEDs. Oh my goodness. Careful, Punky. Wow, there's a lot of dead LEDs in this. I don't even have the diffusion frame off yet, and I can see dead LEDs, so this will be interesting for sure. You're just gonna have to take your time. There's just little tabs. You just gotta lift up. Remember, they're freaking plastic. Everything that's plastic is brittle and shit. Okay, look at that. We got burnt LEDs right here. They are just trashed. They're toast. Over here, this one seems like it's okay. I don't see any dead ones there, but definitely that is our problem right there. So next we gotta do is we gotta keep working our frame around because we still need to get these diffusers off of here so we can actually get access to it and fix the LED strips with the, maybe even replacing one of them. That would be nice because the other one is questionable. I don't know which one it was specifically, but one of them and the new one has a little chip in it. We'll find out. Let's keep working this bezel off. It's gonna be slow and tedious, unfortunately. I'll spare you the ones and zeros. I'm gonna get this frame off, but you see what I mean. You just need to work at it, get a small pry tool if you have to, go slow, and carefully take them off. And then I highly recommend every corner you take them off. For example, this was the bottom piece. Just put a little masking tape label on it so you know exactly which spot they go back in, because if you mix them up, I don't know if it's gonna be a problem putting it back together. It probably would be fine, but I don't wanna take that chance and have to screw with it later on. So take your time, put a label on it, go slow, don't break any plastic. So I took off the two side bezels. I took the bezel one off on the bottom. I'm doing this last one here only because I need that to get all the diffusion off because it's locking it in place. And when you get to the point where you get the bezel off, you're gonna tape all the diffusions together just on the corners so you don't mix up the order of how they are. It's crucial so that way when the light bleeds up into the plexiglass and all that, it's balanced and everything. So don't screw those up, don't mix them up, don't let them fall out. Be really careful because you can crack this plastic and you don't want to do it because it's all kind of spring loaded, especially when you're putting the frame back together. So be extra cautious about that. Okay, and we're there. I'm gonna label this, call this TS for totally sexual. Now, this is the bottom of our screen, this is the top. There's some little deals right here, which there's these little tabs almost, if you can see that right there, and that's what keeps that in place. So we're gonna lift up the corners. We're gonna get a couple tape tabs going. Right? A little piece of tape right there. Okay, we'll be extra careful. Like this here. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, I see. It kind of has a little. There's a little tape at the bottom, but you know what? I think we can work around that. So, okay, fair enough. Leave that piece in there. We're gonna have to clean this too, because as you can see, the LEDs, they burned up like crazy. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead LEDs. All right, let's take a look here. Well, there is some good news. The one that's actually blown is the one that has all the working chips on it. So that's a good thing. Let's see if we can unhook it like that. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a small screwdriver. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these deals that need to come out. We're just gonna replace the one because I don't see anything faulty over here. I'm pretty sure this is our problem, and the other one is questionable. What's crazy is that could have caught fire or something. Fire! Someone made a career out of that fucking one. Assholes. Okay. New used one. Put them in here. There, that's plugged in. Now we can start putting our screws in very gently. Surprised I'm not using a bag today? Me too. Perfect. Oh, look at that. The repair is complete. Now I just need to put everything back together. Hooray. All right, well, no mercies, reversies. Let's put it together. Now we gotta put the diffusion back in. The concern I have right here is that there's a little something on the plexiglass from when the LEDs blew. Let me see if I can't clean that up a little bit. Yeah, because it melted it for sure. Maybe magic eraser. I'll try that. Oh yeah. It's a lot better. Yeah, that works. let's start putting the trim pieces on. You can see where the LEDs melted. So there's a little slot. I'll show you on another one of these. There's a little slot that's down the middle right here. You have to slide the frame portion right here, this little side deal. It's got to go exactly in there and it will start to snap in. Okay. Yep, that's a good sign, all that clacking. Screen left. Yep. Oh yeah, it's in there. The right side. And you see that this is a little rubber piece that the LCD portion sits on. Let's see the top side. Click, 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 click. All the way home. There. Okay, this is good. We're gonna have to fix that one bezel. So we're gonna place the LCD. Gently get it in the position. Okay. Then we're going to need to flip this over and we have to get our bezel back on. We got our TV in place. Now we need to work on the bezel. So I was waiting for the bezel to dry because it broke in one little area. So I put some glue in there and let it set for a bit. Now I'm taking this tape and I'm taping the buffer bars up because we're gonna put the bezel on top of here and it's gotta go over this. I think that's pretty good. Now we're gonna have to flip this TV so we can start working on the back side. If you have a partner, that's great. If you don't, well, welcome to the world of doing shit by yourself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna carefully get this shit back on. These tabs will slide in there like this. It should snap in place. Yep. Yep. There it is. Okay. Now we can put these cables back in. That one's in there. Loosen this tape up if you need to. Looks like it's in. That's for the LED right there. I just plugged it into there. Plug this into here. Okay, this sensor goes in right here. All right, if this works, you'll all be seeing it before I do because I can't see the screen. Something like that. Oh, there we go, okay. So there is one flaw that I noticed with the TV, unfortunately. Where the LEDs blew up, it actually had a hairline crack in the diffuser, not the diffuser, but the plexiglass thing. So you can see a slight variation down here, and I'll show you what I mean once it goes to a different screen. Now the TV's not connected to the internet, so it's not gonna work properly. So down here, there's a little extra whiteness right there where the crack was from the plexiglass. And I noticed that when I was actually cleaning it with the magic eraser, I was rubbing it and I'm like, wow, look, there's a tiny little hairline crack. Well, that hairline crack made that happen. So nevertheless, we fixed the TV. I'll still put it up for sale. The strips cost me $15 or $20. I forget exactly what I paid for it. It's been a little while. I'll still put it up for $100. Sure, come take it. So screw it. Well, it is what it is. You never know what you're gonna get involved with when you get one of these units. But as you could tell from the LED, it was just demolished, and it heated up that plexiglass in such a way that it made it crack, unfortunately, and that's just the way it is. But you know, you can still enjoy some good shows on this. It's gonna be great, and we all learned something. We learned how to do this together, because I have actually never taken apart a TV deep enough to replace an LED strip, kind of guessing as I went along. I think it all worked out for the better. Good. Fantastic. So it's official. We fixed the TV. I have it on a broadcast channel right now, hooked in with an antenna just because I don't feel like logging into my accounts. And I already have a buyer on the line right now. So fantastic. We're going to sell this thing and make a profit. Hopefully this video will give you confidence enough that you could go and change your own LED in your TV if it ever goes out, instead of having to buy a new TV. Some of these TVs get really expensive, and they just make them with really shitty parts, really shitty LED strips, or whatever the case may be. And if you can go and take it upon yourself and just take the steps and give it a little time, you can fix your TV easily. If you're looking for a hobby where you just want to, like, you know, make a little money on the side, you want to flip TVs, well, this is how you do it. You got to find one that's cheap enough, not super old, something that's a little more relevant. Smart TVs 100%. Don't mess with anything that's not a smart TV, because you're just not going to make the profit there. Hopefully maybe you'll pick up on this hobby, you'll make a few bucks on it, and hopefully you learn the best from here. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Punky's World. I really hope you learned something. I really hope you enjoyed watching me in this video. I'm gonna go and start watching some boring broadcast TV until someone comes and picks up this TV, which will probably be, oh, I don't have my watch on me, but it'll be probably in about 20 minutes. Cheers, everybody.